Do it. 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 Do it.
Back about 1825 I left Tennessee very much alive. I never would made it through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been riding on the Tennessee stud. Had some trouble with my sweetheart's pa. One of her brothers was a bad outlaw. I wrote a letter to my uncle's butt, and I wrote away on the Tennessee stud. On the Tennessee stud, the Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood. There never was a horse like Tennessee stud. Drifted on down into no man's land across the river called the Rio Grande. Raced my horse with the Spaniard's bow till I got me a skin full of silver and gold. Me and the gambler, we couldn't agree. We got in a fight over Tennessee, pulled our guns, and he fell with a thud, and I rode away on a Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood. There was never a horse like the Tennessee stud. I rode right back across Arkansas. I whipped her brother and I whipped her pa. I found that girl with the golden hair. She was riding on a Tennessee.
You got it off.
Uncle the Podcast is live.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 401 we are at tonight. Now, we're going to talk about... Let's get started with the draft. Just been watching the rest of it for the rest of the night.
The NFL draft is on.
It was on, and they're doing, my Rams are doing their ways of how they draft them. The way they go.
So they're drafting well? Is that the...
Yeah, they're drafting pretty well.
Okay.
They got if only, I think they picked the tight end.
Yes. As they always do.
They always do. And
Back at it.
I think a wide receiver.
They got a wide receiver?
I think.
Did they really?
I don't know if they picked. I'm not sure about that one, but there was something else that they were going at.
I don't know who they got in round one. I just saw the round two, the tight end guy.
Yeah, I know. You weren't around.
I've been around.
I know.
I get updated with these things. Okay, so that's the draft. The draft is ongoing.
Tomorrow it starts at 9 our time.
Yeah.
12 o'clock their time.
Tune in, everybody.
Tune in on that if you were watching it.
That's important. So, yeah, we got the NFL draft. Uncle, do we want to talk about our mail, too? Do we want to get into that?
A mail, yes. Well, we're going to get into this mail. Well, we've gotten this baseball cards. Mm-hmm. Pass these mail cards around.
Pass the cards around.
But what are you doing? So I keep playing with those knobs again?
Well, yeah.
You're not doing this tonight.
I'm not doing this?
You're playing with your knobs again.
Well, a little bit. I'm trying not to do it too much, but I probably already have.
I know.
You and the knobs. You forgot to give the phone number, too. 319-527-5016 is the number to call.
There it is.
In case you want to join in.
Yeah, you may call.
And Uncle's getting ready to talk about the baseball cards. He got through with the draft pretty quick. Yeah. But, hey, baseball card time, that's fine by me. Plus, you got the video you can show people, right?
Yes, exactly. So we'll be doing that here on our stream. We're streaming out on YouTube. We're on TikTak. And actually, before we go any further, let me see if I can make anything of... where the heck are we? I want to see what might be going on TikTak real fast. I got the live monitor. But yeah, everybody will be able to see the cards. I'm going to show them. Oh, look, almost nothing. Okay, that's good.
Nobody there. Yeah, that's not.
That's whatever. It's fine. I've been. The lords of TikTok aren't happy with what I'm doing, so that's fine.
Here we
That's
go.
that. You got them on your phone. Wow.
I've got it on my phone. I do. Anyway, check it out, dudes. Baseball cards. These came from our producer, Chuck. Chuck sent us these cards. Look at all these different ones. We got all these. We've got these ones over here. And we also got some crazy stickers you sent, Chuck. These stickers are interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I threw in some stuff for fun. But what happened
was
is that
the
night
fun
that we
one.
had the conversation, you guys gave me a list of a whole bunch of names, and I said, listen, if you send me some Mets and a couple of, and a Nolan Ryan or whatever, I'll be thrilled.
Yeah.
You guys sent me a couple of Nolan Ryans and a big stack of Mets from like 88, 89, 90, 91. And so that was great.
Those
Yeah.
were the ones I was actually looking for because I know I had them. I had to go searching for them, and I found them. So, yeah.
Well, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you got a giant box of stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what I heard.
Yeah, I got a lot of
I didn't see it.
giant,
Very
yeah,
big.
very big box
big
of
box.
Mets, all kinds of players
It's
mixed in.
right here behind us. Yeah,
right
yeah.
behind us and behind here.
So we went through some of those, and
screen.
that's what we went through to send the mailer to you, Chuck, with
Yeah.
those Mets cards and some of those other ones that we
Yeah.
sent too. They came from the giant pile.
Yeah, that's where they came
Right.
from, Jane. Wow.
So, and I knew you wanted some more Shohei Ohtani cards, so I
Yeah.
made sure that you got, a few of them. And in the third mailer, did you get a couple of Nolan Ryan cards back? Because I sent you a couple of doubles I had.
You know what? Let's go through these cards.
Go
and see
through
what we
them
got.
now. I don't
I'm gonna
think
go
I've
through-
seen them. Double.
Trying to handle
Because
these.
that'll tell me if you got the third mailer. Because the third mailer I sent a little later after I got the box. I said, oh boy, you guys sent me a lot of stuff, so I wanted to send you some cool stuff of value.
Yeah.
Because your list was pretty easy. I missed like one guy on your list, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Of
It's that.
people that you guys mentioned.
Yeah, the
Chapman. Chapman.
The
We need-
Chapman, the
we
one
need
that
Chapman.
we need
Chapman.
Chapman. Yeah,
Gotta
if,
get 'em.
if you can find somebody that's got him but has a copy of him, ask if you can bring him up.
We'll
I'll
see. We'll see.
see. I'm asking Chuck.
I
Not
know.
you.
Oh yeah, no. If I can find one, I'll send it to you. But
Yeah,
I haven't run across them yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't buy all the cards, and I can't trade for all of them yet either.
No. That's the main one I was looking for because
He'll pop up.
something to do.
Let's here. I'll go through all the cards that we have, so we just know what
through the
made
cards.
it to us. So let's see.
Yeah.
We've got a Buster Posey.
Yeah, that's a nice bunch of
is-
Yeah,
posters.
because
San Francisco.
Right, and Aaron said Buster Posey, so I said, okay, no problem. I got that. Now, here's the fun thing. I also sent out for listeners who were supportive of the network, if they gave me an address and gave me a favorite team and a couple of favorite players, guess what? They also got little mailers, but theirs only had, a couple of cards in it. Yours had a bunch more, and I tried to give you Dodgers. I tried to give you the stuff you had listed.
yeah, there's
And I gave you some stuff for fun, too, because I had some Looney Tunes cards. I had those neat little stickers that have all kinds of crazy things on them.
That's them.
So, I just kind of stuffed things in there. So I was hoping you guys would have fun with it.
Yeah. No, it was definitely fun. It was
Yeah,
enjoyable.
the
to look
first
at.
time I went out, I saw the package, and I went to the mailbox. I saw the box in the mailbox. I took it out, came right up here at the standings, and I was looking to them, like I always do. I look into them, and then Mr. Sidekick here comes in the back of me.
got
What do you
serious.
got? What do you got? No.
That's exactly.
I said we got things from Chuck.
That's
And
exactly
then-
how it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly how it happened. And I don't know. Something about-
That's something else happened.
Oh,
We
I
don't
can
remember
picture
this.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
We looked through 'em.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
But you see, both of you guys kept mentioning names that night, right? So I'm sitting there scribbling them down fast as I can, and so I know you got most of the guys you asked for.
Yeah.
Otani cards are selling like crazy though. They're every Otani card sells, constantly. So there's a big market for him right now. But some of those other guys, you asked for some strange guys too. So I made sure to include the oddballs.
We're strange. We're strange guys, so we asked for strange guys. That's how it goes. Let me go through the list here. So we had that Buster Posey, him in San Francisco is like some sort of like memorial thing of him holding a ball up above his head.
I know what that's
We've
about.
got Dalton Rushing from the Dodgers. I'm having trouble reading it, but it's Dalton Rushing. We got him. It's a newer card. We've got who's this? Wills. Maury Wills. This isn't. And this is dated 1962, but it's like a reissue of a 1962 card. Turn back the clock. Those were the Nolan Ryan
that was
cards
just
that we sent you. Were like that too, Chuck. Were those
like that.
style of card? There's a
Right. There's some stuff was reprint, some stuff was, new, and I tried to mix it up good. And Maury Wills I just added in because he's like, Hall of Famer guy. That's why.
Sure. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. This is a playing card, an Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
It's Roger Clemens.
Yeah, no, and I saw that, and I said,
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades card.
That's different.
Yeah, that is different. I saw that one right
So
away.
yeah, that's interesting. We have that. Here's another. Looks like another Dodger. Yes, it's Mookie Betts,
Mookie.
and it's sort of it's horizontally oriented. The front of the card, which is unusual for a baseball card. So there he is.
Right.
It's like he's out in the field. We've got a Chicago Cubs. Who's this? Mitch Williams. Okay, Mitch Williams.
Yeah.
I believe
You guys mentioned Mitch Williams. Yeah.
Did
That's
we?
why he's in there. Yeah, you
I
did.
want to say did we send you Mitch Williams cards too? I thought we did, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I don't remember. But anyway, we got
No, there's another guy. Yeah, there's another guy with a similar name on the Mets you sent me. That's what you're thinking of.
Here's
who
Mitch
played
Williams
in the
on the
mid-80s,
Rangers.
yeah.
You got the Rangers card for Mitch Williams in addition to the Cubs. So there he is again. Carlton Fisk.
Yeah.
This is like a red and orange card. The Boston White Sox, Carlton Fisk.
That's one.
We've got
Yeah, another Hall of Famer.
a second Fisk card of him on the White Sox again. So 2 cards of him so far. 1990 highlight of Carlton Fisk. So there's a third for Fisk, and this is some highlight. These look good on video. These cards, they show up pretty well on video, I gotta say. So, anyway, what else? Somebody slide. Is this Buster Posey again? Yeah, another Buster Posey. It shows him sliding into home or a base. It looks like he's sliding in a home plate. So there's another Buster Posey. Giants once again. Another Carlton Fisk, White Sox. This one's in like a plastic wrapper. There we go. So Carlton Fisk is back. We've got, here he is. Here's Shohei Ohtani as a Dodger. Shohei Ohtani as a Dodger.
Right. That's him.
So yeah, we do have.
I made sure to give you. Yeah, I made sure to give you Dodgers and Angels Otanis, so you had both.
Oh, there's an Angels Ohtani.
Ohtani? Well, let's
Yep.
see.
Well, here's an interesting one. A National League leaders that features Ohtani, Schwarber, and Soto all on the card. So I did ask for Schwarber. You threw in Ohtani there, and Soto makes his way in there because he's on this list of, was this for home runs or something? Yeah, this is top home run guys, which Schwarber tops
Right.
for this one. So that's something different. We got a Joker card, just a typical playing card with
What is this? That was a joke, right?
the king on the bicycle.
That's a joke. That I was thinking that might have been the joke.
Is the Joker a joke, Uncle?
Yeah, that's the
but you-
joke.
when you-
Because there's no pen. That's not a card. That's not a baseball card. That's a joker. Get what I mean?
The Joker's joking us.
Yeah.
Well, plus I wanted to pad the cards to make sure nothing happened to them, so I put stuff around them to make sure they wouldn't get banged up or anything in the mail. So I added the Joker card and a couple other things, just to pad them a little.
Oh, we've got somebody in the chat here, Ken Vasquez 548 asking, do you guys ever go to the stadium before the game to hound the players for autographs?
I would love to, but I never can get there. Nobody wants to go.
He's saying that players would avoid the crowd by going through the alternative entrance if they were hungover. I have you ever done that? Try to get autographs on
I
cars?
tried to, but
You have.
There was no way. You can't get them
No access.
once you can get to your seat. Or unless you got a good seat down below,
Then you can get in there.
then you can see them. Hey, can you give me an autograph?
Ken wanted to know if we're up to that. So yeah, Uncle's tried. Uncle's tried to do that.
I mean, but we had to have good seats.
It's all about the seats. It
It's
really
all
is.
about getting the good seats to get a good autograph.
The seats that are real good in Dodger Stadium are the outfield. Like I remember left field, man, it is wild back there. Everybody's drunker than a skunk. It's a party time out there. Oh man, they're drunk.
Drunk. I thought you said skunk.
Yeah, I did. They're drunk as one. Dodger Stadium is much more a party atmosphere than Angel Stadium. Angel Stadium, the Big A, is a little lame.
I know. I've noticed that when I
noticed that?
when I was at the stadium when I went to a game.
Yeah.
I went to a game.
It's fun to go.
I
still.
maybe to a couple of those,
Good for the kids, and
but
me.
but it was lame, as
Wasn't
you
the
say.
same thing.
It wasn't like the Dodger Stadium.
It's different. Let me go through the rest of these cards. We got a
Get
couple
through the
more.
rest of the cards.
Got another. This is Schwarber yet again from the Phillies. This is a small, like old style card, like tiny, like sort of thinner and little things. This is him. Phillies once again.
Yeah, they make a lot of minis now.
Yeah, those like sort of throwback style card. I don't know. Here he is.
Yeah, it's like the tobacco cards.
It's Trey Turner as a Philly after he left
There
the
you go.
Dodgers. We need to find him as a Dodger now, but here he is as a Philadelphia Philly.
Oh, that was
Trey
him.
Turner. Yeah, this is him, Uncle. You know this guy, right?
Oh, that.
You seen this guy
There
before?
you go.
Trey Turner.
Oh yes. That's
Remember when the Dodgers had Turner and Turner, and it was a little
Oh
confusing?
yes. Now
They
I
had
know.
two
you.
Turners.
Right.
He was one of them. Yeah, he was one of them.
Yeah, that was your Turner.
So let's see here. We got a couple more cards. We've got this one. Oh, I like this one. This is Street Fighter from the movie Street Fighter from the 90s. It looks to be a still from the movie. It's the speedboat going through the water.
What the
Describes
heck?
on the back of like what's going on in the scene. It's pretty. I like that one, Chuck. This is fun. So
Yeah, I thought Uncle would like some of those odd cards in there, so and you like them too, so there you
I was
go.
wondering what that was.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at him closely at these. At these.
Street Fighter 2, the movie, based on the arcade
Right.
game from the 90s. Okay. So that's what that is.
Well, and you guys do those video game streams.
That was it.
You
Yeah,
guys
we
do
do.
those video game streams.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we played Street Fighter 2 on one of those streams.
So
before,
how
yeah.
many was that?
That's all the baseball cards that we have in this pile, and then it's these stickers that you sent, which are also fun, but no more baseball cards.
No, that's all the
Okay,
baseball
so
cards.
you're missing.
Missing
You're
some?
missing at least one mailer that's still on its way.
Oh, it's still here.
That's what's missing.
It's still
yeah.
coming. Oh, so I got
Yep,
some more
you still
coming.
have more coming.
Okay, then.
Something to look forward to.
Okay, then. I have to look. I'm looking through the mail. Nothing yet.
Very exciting.
So I'm the mailman.
Now, Chuck, we did send that pile to you. How did that go? Were you happy to find any of the things that we did send, or what?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the things that we sent you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything in that box was great because I need to rebuild my Mets collection, and the only unhappy thing is you sent me Bobby Bonilla, but that's all right. I
Oh
understand.
yes. Bubba Winnia, he was a
He wasn't even. I sent that as a little bit of a joke. Because,
that one wasn't he a bet?
he wasn't a
He
Met.
was, yeah.
Well,
He was
he
a
was a
Met.
Met.
He was a
He
Met.
yeah,
was
he
a Met.
was, but on the cards that I sent, he wasn't even. He was on other teams, and I just thought it was funny because he comes up so
Yep.
often in conversation on the show. I'm like, oh, I gotta put a couple of these in.
Oh, what did you
So I did that. I knew you'd appreciate that. So
Oh,
Yeah,
I
because
didn't
the
know
Mets
you
were
did.
paying him. The Mets paid him off for like 20 years after he stopped playing for him because he was so bad. And every time they traded him to another team, they ended up paying part of his massive salary to the other team. So, but you guys sent me a couple of them on the Pirates. I was like, okay,
I did.
whatever. But
Oh,
yeah,
he did. You did. I know he's picking them out, and
Well, it looks like
I didn't know what he was doing.
Ken is there in the chat again, and he's giving us more tips on how to get these autographs. He says...
Autographs?
Yeah,
Nice.
he's saying, like, back in the day at certain stadiums, if you would go to the stadium 7 to 8 hours before the game, the home team players would have to check in at the stadium before the games, and then that's where you could hound them.
Hound? Oh, for
That's
him.
pretty early, Uncle. You ever do that?
We never get that early. We never get there that early.
That's,
I mean,
Well, some stadiums.
around here, we have to get at that point that early just to do that.
Yeah,
that
that's
you're
tough.
talking about.
That's a lot of
That
work.
he's talking about.
that's like a job.
Now, yeah, no, the stadiums on the East Coast, right? You go like 2 or 3 hours early, and you can catch these guys in batting practice, and then you can try and call them over. You just go all the way down to the field because nobody's seated yet.
Right.
You know, if you can get access to the stadium, but it's hard to do, and very few people get it. But believe me, there's plenty of TikTok videos of people getting signatures too, and especially kids. But there's plenty of signatures being gotten, and you know the kids getting it, but they're getting it for their dad. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny.
Sure.
But yeah, they go like 2-3 hours early, and these guys are in batting practice, and some of them are just standing around. Like if they're a pitcher, they can only warm up so many pitchers on the side. You know, so like some of those guys are just standing there, and some of them will come over if you call to them. You know,
Sure.
so that's something you can do on the East Coast. Now I don't know how the security is on the West.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried that. I mean, that sounds like a good suggestion, but man, also, I don't know if I have enough time to do that kind of thing, especially not these days. But it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. So
I do get started some. No one else has these basketball cards or hockey cards. You guys got any of them?
yeah, you have those.
Yeah,
I
got
have
hockey.
them. You do?
I got some. I got a little bit of hockey, a little bit of basketball. Not much,
Oh, you
but a
do.
little bit. Yeah.
You got quite a bit of basketball, Uncle, from the 90s.
Yeah,
so
I
it's quite a bit of
was
that.
going to go through the basketball if they're interested in trading some of them. If you're interested, Chuck.
We got quite a few.
Well, the 90s basketball, you might want to look at the resale on them because a lot of that stuff is way up because you got Jordan and a whole bunch of guys playing early on or even rookie cards
Right.
that are worth a lot of money,
Oh, right now?
you know. So,
Oh,
yeah.
the basketball ones?
We got to go through
Yeah.
them. We got to go
Yeah,
through them.
we should. We might have to.
Gotta go
I
through
mean,
them now.
there's so many cards, but we might just have to go in and do the work and pick through them and see if we can find something good. Because I did a little
I'm
bit
sure
of
I
that.
got a few good stuff in there.
That's got to be mixed in.
Yeah,
It's
they're
gotta be
mixed in there. So.
So
well, you got Apple Tech, right?
Oh, you're talking about how just show the pictures to AI and let the AI tell you if it's valuable.
Well, there's the AI, but there's also apps specifically designed to go search prices.
Okay. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Fuck. Well, I mean,
Sorry.
I have seen ads. You know what is interesting? When I am on TikTok, I get ads specifically for
This guy,
shirts at the thrift store because this is what I do. I go and
store?
I get thrift shirts. I resell them, so it knows that. And so it's like, here, get this app. And what you do is you just wave your camera at it, and it'll show you, what anything happens to be worth at any given time. So I've seen that app. So of course there's one for cards.
Well, we got to get
Oh,
those then. I think that's what we're going to have to get.
You want these
Do we
apps?
have to get the apps? Can we get the apps? Where do we get them?
They're out there. Yeah. It's
Come in, because I could use them. Because, like you're saying, I got expensive cards. I want to see what I really do have.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I collected all these cards, and I don't know what's good and what's the good ones.
it's
And
hard.
I like.
It would be nice just to have an app where you just go card by card, you hold it in front of a camera, and
that's
then
what
it
you
tells
can get
you
me for my birthday.
$30. Like, ooh, we got a good one here.
Maybe
like,
you can get
hold
that.
it up, $1. Like, okay, another one of these.
Maybe you
2
can
cents.
You can get that from my birthday.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. There is
for me.
an app that does that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. There's exactly an app that does that.
of course. Yeah, we'll have to get it.
Yep.
We'll have to get it. Yeah, okay, Uncle. Put that on the to get app list. We definitely are going to need that one.
Because I'm going to have to go through. Because if get that, we are going to go through a lot of stuff here. Because I want to see, of course, like I said, what is my cost, and I'm going to hold back the expensive ones that are good.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta separate.
We'll put
because I gotta have them separated, and then I can trade them off of ones I have like doubles or whatever.
Truly valuable cards. We will put them up as their own online auction that you buy that individual card. Maybe we'll even go to a card shop and get it graded by somebody. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
And that'll help us list it, and then we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, this just goes to show, Uncle, we need to further our efforts in becoming full-time resellers. I mean, we do it part-time. I mean, let's just only do that all the time.
Well, look, I'm for doing it if you are up for it and have the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I
go and do that.
Let's just scrap this day job nonsense. It's no good anyway. I mean, I'm actually being. I mean, maybe I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we're gonna just do a little bit of everything as we have been doing. We're going to resell. We're going to do a regular job. We're going to do everything else. We're going to keep doing that for a while. And
we'll get to that other thing that we're talking about.
We will. We'll get to it. We'll get that thing. Let's hear. We are taking calls if anybody wants
taking
to call.
Calls on let that those ring. Let's go, people.
319-527-5016. Anybody can call that. I did see Uncle Cooley Digital was watching the show on TikTak, so we had him over there.
I mentioned him about the draft on his Chiefs. How do you think he did? I gave him a text, but I haven't heard.
Oh, we do have some likes on the TikTok, so thank you, everybody. You're asking Cooley how he likes the Chiefs draft picks?
Yeah. So far.
Let us know, Cooley. Say that in the TikTok chat or
say that in
or
TikTok
even
chat.
Call in and let us know. We would like to know that. TikTok at Uncle the Podcast. Come on, everybody. We need to post some new videos. I haven't posted a video in like over a week, Uncle. We'll have to do
it's because you were out doing something and you're out doing the corners, doing this other stuff, and we have to get around doing all this stuff.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And you're around. I'm here. I'm here waiting, but you're not around.
I know.
And that's the problem.
We'll fix this situation over the weekend. We'll post something. Maybe we'll have you make food again because that's what
I'm still waiting on that meatloaf. Somebody go get that meat.
We're all waiting on the meatloaf. We're all waiting.
Well, that's the big one. Like a meatloaf.
That's going to push us to
the over
like 1
limit.
million followers, probably.
Yeah, it will.
Just that alone.
You watch. You probably will.
I don't even know how many views the cactus is up to. It's
that's over the top.
It's
probably
past 1
now.
million
past
views.
The top.
I think we've mentioned that on here that the cactus has gone beyond 1 million views.
Yeah,
so
we did.
Be excited. We
have to get something different. I'm thinking to a point of let's get something different to say, but we haven't had to go to the Play Store and get these things to do something different.
Something different, yeah. That's what people come to our TikTok for, is something a little bit different.
No, indeed.
I think we provide that service as content creators, is something different. It's the one thing I think maybe we're able to do. So I'm proud. I'm proud of what we're doing, Uncle. We're making content.
If we ever get crazy drunk beer, Bob, come. We got the drink still in the fridge.
We do.
To try.
I'll have to invite him back soon because we have those. We have 2 more drinks that he obviously has already reviewed them on his show, Bumming with Bobcat and bumlinebob.com. So check those out. But we want to have him here on our show where he can help us understand what we're drinking. So I'll invite him back. We have that, what was it? The Four Loko Camo and the other, what's the other drink? Oh, MD 2020
and
Dragon
2020 Dragon Fruit.
Ooh,
that's the one I'm waiting to taste. That is one I'm waiting to taste because I like dragon fruit.
It's a good flavor. Yeah,
I like it.
I'm always surprised.
And I'm still waiting to put that tree up.
The
and
tree.
get that get
Christmas
that
tree?
No, that tree and get the stuff to build it. I've been waiting.
You're ready to build a tree.
That dragon fruit tree.
Oh, okay.
I've been waiting.
Okay. This is a landscaping issue.
Landscaping issue we're having here.
A neighbor / friend gave us a dragon fruit plant, which is a succulent plant, and they grow in the ground here. And Uncle's been asking me to plant in the ground. I haven't, because to do it the right way, you really want to build a trellis, like out of wood or something, so that the plant climbs up it, and then when it gets at the top, it sort of cascades over like a wide. You make it wide at the top, so it cascades over, and then that holds the fruit up in the air, so it's not on the ground, because it'll just crawl across the ground otherwise. So
Let's what are we doing this weekend?
probably nothing.
Let's go to the store and get that stuff.
Okay.
And well, at least get it the stuff.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
want.
I think I know where I would plant it, and I know basically how I would make the trellis. I just have
All
to
right. Well,
get a
we'll
couple
do
of
that for this
supplies.
weekend.
There we go. We got our plans in order. Very good.
I've been
Dragon
waiting
fruit.
for a dragon
But
fruit.
also, I'd
clip.
like to drink the MD 2020 dragon fruit as well.
Well, yeah, that's waiting. That's why I'm waiting on Crazy Bob.
We are.
Get him in.
We need Bob now.
I need him to come on the show.
Well, he was here.
Yeah, we did
2 weeks
We
ago?
did the 99. What was it?
We did the Colt 45.
The Coke 45 with him, but I like to get him drink the last one they got in the fridge.
The new Colt 45, which was clearly different than the old. I definitely noticed a difference. So
Yeah,
that
there
was
was
interesting.
different.
Oh, we got action in the crack room once again. It's Ken once again. He's saying, isn't it too risky to let it grow in the ground in the Inland Empire because the gophers will mess it up, or you guys don't have gophers at your place?
No, we don't.
I think it's safer to go raise beds. No, we have not had. There are gophers around here, but I haven't had problems with them going after our stuff, and we have a lot of stuff planted here, so I would be confident in growing it in the ground. You could do a raised bed, or you could even grow it in a pot. I've seen these videos online where there's this specialized nursery that makes these really big pots, and they are fully. They're dragon fruit. Like, here's this variety of dragon fruit. Here's that. We have these. You could get that. But it's a giant pot. They build the trellis in the pot, and then that's how you buy it, and they bring it to you. So lots of different options. I'd probably put it in the ground, and then I'd build the trellis right in the ground.
We may do that this weekend.
Yeah. So that's I'm trying to remember. Ken, you're our neighbor around these parts, right? You're out here in like San Bernardino or something, I think, if I remember. Let's see here. Yeah, it's Ken still there. So dragon fruits, everybody, the kind of things that you can grow when you're out here in California. One of the benefits of being out here is you can just throw something like that in the ground and it will grow.
We had them in orange.
Well, neighbors had them planted.
No,
yeah.
we had a wall. Remember, we did it on a.
By we, you mean that you would walk around the neighborhood
No,
and
no,
reach
no,
over
no,
the
no.
wall to people
No,
who had
no,
them planted.
in our backyard, in our house,
Okay, but
on our old house, the small house.
yeah, I know. When we lived in Orange, did a neighbor have it and it crawled over the wall to our house
We made it.
of a dragon fruit?
Or was it there? It might have been there.
We never ended up planting a dragon fruit in Orange. What you are, I know.
I know it was hooked onto the wall.
I know what you're remembering. You're remembering. We did a grapevine, I believe, and then there were neighbors who had them, and you would walk around the neighborhood and where you could grab fruits.
No.
That grew over the walls and up and over, and that
No.
might have been one of them.
No.
You
we
never-
didn't do it
you
over the
never did
wall. It
that.
was in the backyard.
Okay, well,
I don't know what was grown, but it was something in our backyard,
we had
a fruit of something,
we had fruits.
and it was grown like the dragon fruit, hooked onto the wall.
We did
I don't know if it
there
was
a
dragon
I
fruit,
think
but it was something.
I think it was a grapevine we did. Yeah. I think
was
we did.
it?
Yeah, I believe that's what that was. That was trellised in the back wall that we had. I believe, if I remember. I know we didn't do a dragon fruit there, and we still haven't done one here, but we need to rectify that.
And it better be this weekend.
Oh
man, I'm down low.
Ken is saying I planted several avocado, fruit trees, agave plants, and those gophers mess me up big time.
Gophers?
Oh yeah, he's up by Ontario. Awesome. Okay, cool. Awesome, Ken. Yeah. Very good. Thanks for joining us here. Yeah. Okay. So he's had problems with the gophers. I know that they are a problem, and that the big box stores have a lot of, like pests products to deal with the gophers. But luckily, we haven't had issues with them ourselves. I want to keep it that way. We'll see. Gophers, Uncle. They're a scourge.
I've seen the little holes in them. The dogs, when I walk them, they smell them underneath. Yeah. Even Keon, he goes nuts.
Yeah, they'll definitely smell them.
Smell them suckers down there.
Oh, yeah.
He's going for lizards right now.
Lots of lizards.
On the walk.
Mm-hmm. Lizards all over the place out here. Lots of wildlife out here, isn't there? All sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah. Crawling around and flying around and living in a garden and wanting to eat everything that you might grow in a garden. Yeah. Let's see. Let me check the TikTak once again because I want to see. Last time I checked, we were getting some likes. Cooley had been there.
We have 8.
Yeah, let's see. It looks like... let me check the Ocelli. Oh, we haven't had a lot of action in the Ocelli chat room, it looks like. No, it looks like things kind of leveled off.
What's 12? The 12 what?
Total viewers. Wait. Diamonds.
8 diamonds?
Somebody might have given us a diamond, but I...
Who was it? Who was it? I see that 8. What was a diamond?
Okay, if anybody on TikTok actually dropped those diamond things on us, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, whoever it was. But what?
It doesn't seem like we have enough likes that people would be dropping those diamond things, but maybe they did.
Maybe they're
I'm
looking
getting a little
at
confused.
It. Maybe they're looking at
what?
stuff that we had back in the past.
I think I might.
Well, the diamonds, I think you can use for other stuff. Hey, listen, you got a call.
You do?
So I wanted to bring him on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Bring him on.
Yeah.
We've been waiting on calls.
Bring the caller in.
Bring the caller in.
No problem.
There we go.
Here we go.
Hey, man, this is Ed. And
Eddie.
I got a report. I got a few cards, too.
Oh, you do?
And I won't go over them all. There's a handful of cards. And,
what do you need? What do you need?
A Pete Rose card, which is one of my grandfather's and my favorite non-Dodger players back in the day. But best of all, and Chuck must have had a little intuition or something, he sent me a Fernando Valenzuela card.
Oh,
who was an amazing Dodger pitcher.
Oh, yeah, I remember
in
him.
the 80s.
Yeah,
I
remember him.
Sadly, he just died last year or the year before.
Right.
And so that's a cool one right there.
I knew that since you were a Dodger fan at that time, you had to like Valenzuela. I mean, that's why you got.
Oh, yeah.
So and everybody's little package was different. I tried to customize it, based on what they liked and the stuff that they said. So, I asked everybody, and that was my way of saying thanks for, helping out. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved getting that whole little package, man. It was great. It was a kick. And when I saw Fernando, I was like, oh, man, how did Chuck know to send that one, Because sadly, he did die. I think he had a liver. I think he might have had a drinking issue, and he ran his liver into the ground, and he kind of died too young. Died like last year or the year before, I forget which. But he was a broadcaster on the Spanish-speaking channel down there until he couldn't do it anymore. And I was just really sad to hear that he'd passed. And
I didn't even know he drank.
Yeah, it's just cool to have that card. Is also thanks, man.
There you go.
I haven't known he drank though.
And oh shoot. I had something else I was going to pass. Oh, you guys talked about somebody when you were in Orange. You had some fruit growing over your fence. When I lived in Whittier, California, as a child, around 1970 or so, we had a neighbor with a pomegranate tree, and I could climb up on the wall and pick as many as I wanted. Man, it was just great. Then my grandmother made this delicious syrup out of it.
Wow.
Syrup.
Pomegranate.
Pomegranate syrup?
Yeah.
Did you have the experience to know that you were in the hometown of Richard Nixon when you lived in Whittier there?
No, it's Yorba Linda.
I had
Chuck.
none of that knowledge at the time. No.
It's you're talking about Yorba Linda, Chuck.
Yeah. No.
No, I mean Whittier. He's from Whittier.
Is he?
I think.
Oh, he did. I could have sworn.
Yeah, I lived in
because-
Whittier, California for 2 or 3 years when I lived when I lived in California as a child. So
I know. I know Whittier.
yeah, pomegranates growing right up over the wall from the neighbors, and I could climb up on that wall and pick all the pomegranates I wanted. Man, it was fun.
Yeah.
No, I think if you look it up, you'll find Nixon was also from Whittier.
Oh, okay. Well,
Aaron.
maybe.
Oh, he
maybe-
was. Yeah, I know that now.
I know
Yeah.
that he definitely lived in
Yeah, I
Yorba
just as a
Linda.
kid, I've come full circle because I used to not care about politics, and I don't anymore now either. So
There you go.
back then I was oblivious to that. But of course, oh yeah, I know he hails from Whittier. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, I guess he moved to Yorba Linda then, is what he must have done. He must have moved to
Probably,
Yorba Linda.
yeah.
Because they've got his library in Yorba Linda now. His presidential
Right.
libraries out there. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah,
have to look on that.
those presidential libraries. There's something. I don't know. There's just something silly about that. I've always thought they all have to have a library. Like they're all these scholarly, learned men, and everything, and they got to have a library named after them.
Oh yeah, that's important. Yeah,
Well,
Don't you s-
it was important to me to have the LBJ and the JFK library to get stuff from so that I could see what was going on during both presidencies. But, honestly,
Oh yeah.
those libraries are pretty funny, though. Like, if you ever been to Reagan's, it's pretty hilarious because, I mean, it's a lot of show business.
sure.
I forget what town his is in California,
It's out
but he's
here,
got one
yeah.
out there, doesn't he?
It's out here. I
Yeah.
forget the exact town, but it's not far from the Nixon one. I know that much. Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
it's somewhere out here. Yeah.
You got to wonder what the Trump library will be like, huh?
Trump.
They're already planning it.
Yeah, right.
They're already planning it. Yeah, it's gonna be grand. A lot of gold.
I'm sure. Yeah.
A lot of gold. Gold plated.
It'll
Everything.
it'll just it'll be the best one. I'm sure the biggest and best of all of them. Yeah.
It'll look just like the Trump Plaza did in Atlantic City till it goes bankrupt.
They'll find a way to bankrupt the presidential library.
That'll happen. It will happen.
Today in a strange turn
Lee,
of events.
it will happen.
They'll make it happen.
Today,
Nonetheless, it'll be tremendous. No matter what, it'll be tremendous. We know that.
today, in the most tremendous fashion, like no one has ever seen before, the Trump Library went bankrupt. Yes. Oh, God.
That's gonna be great. Looking forward to the
Too
future.
funny.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
All right, so Ed got a mailer too. That's exciting. We're really making a thing out of this. Then this is
So
good.
he's gotten some cards.
Yeah, Chuck sent him something. That's
Yes.
cool. That's cool.
Oh,
Very good.
I didn't.
Well
Yes,
done, Chuck.
Yeah.
Because Ed, you know
Got
why?
a Bill Russell card too. He was
Yep.
from that. He was from the teams back then. Bill Russell, and
Oh,
I'm kind of jealous of your guys' Maury Wills though, man, because he was. I remember him from even when I was really littler from the '60s, because my grandfather he loved and hated him. He would make
Right.
the dumbest plays sometimes, but he was also a great shortstop. Whenever he messed up, my grandfather'd be cursing on the porch, man.
Hey,
Right.
Oh, Maury Wills.
Yeah, one of those players. That's fine.
And he's got a whole thing, man. When they did a thing in they went to Japan or somewhere after one of the World Series after they lost to the Orioles in '66. I read a whole baseball book about this, and he stopped off in Hawaii and did some song and dance routine there, and didn't show up for the thing, and he got in all kinds of trouble with the team. He was like an entertainer on the side, and he stopped off in Hawaii or somewhere like that. Yeah. And he was performing in a club there doing something. I forget what.
Right.
You know,
He's a
it's,
character.
It's
one of those characters.
And it's crazy to think that, there was an era in baseball not so long ago where they couldn't survive on their season salaries. They actually had.
Oh, yeah. They worked, some of them.
Yeah.
In the off season.
In the off season, some of these guys were house painters and all kinds of crap. And, and because baseball couldn't pay the bills in the off season. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Especially when you start talking Brooklyn Dodgers. I mean, a lot of those guys definitely did.
Oh, those guys all had jobs.
Right.
Oh, did you hear the first game?
Yeah.
The first game of the Dodger game? They had Brooklyn Dodgers caps? They were representing 42.
Oh, the opening game.
Oh, yeah.
Opening game. Did you see
I
that?
have one of those. I alternate that with my LA cap if I go to the ballpark or wherever,
No, they started it. They started that.
Oh man, yeah, that's a cool hat. A Boston hat, because they make the baseball hats in every color for every team now.
Right.
I have to shake my head. No, let me explain. So they get a lesson in baseball history when they say that to me.
Right.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
No, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I like my favorite, common fact, of course, is that the New York Mets, their original blue and orange, represents the two National League New York teams that left New York, which is the orange and white. It comes from the Giants, and Dodger blue is Mets blue. It's the same color.
That's all true.
Yeah. But
True story.
Cracks me up. Of course, they just got done breaking a 12-game losing streak. Thanks.
Yeah, I know.
But,
I saw that. What's so funny?
I had to win eventually. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, but they're missing Soto though. When he gets back, that'll make a change.
Yeah, but half of their
Hopefully, if he's healthy.
star players are injured. Because you know why? Because they're the Mets.
Yeah.
They're injured already?
Yeah, I know that happens.
Terrible
year when everybody gets injured.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that the Dodgers still have their starting rotation mostly intact. For the last couple of years, they have this great starting rotation, and before the All-Star break, they're all on the injured list.
Okay.
They're now
And
on
fortunately,
the
they have some good guys they bring up, that help. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Pitchers go down a lot with the Dodgers.
Yeah, Kim got one of those trial, things for a week, and so I was happy to watch a couple of Mets games. And the other night, though, I got to watch the Dodgers right after the Mets. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, cool.
And it was great because Ohtani was pitching.
Yeah.
And 6 innings.
Oh yeah, he's been pitching great.
Yeah, 6 innings, shutout ball, no problem, And then they put in the bullpen guys, and those guys blew it. And I was like, man.
Yeah, I remember that game. They wrecked that one. Yeah,
Oh.
he threw a good one last night too, but the bullpen didn't blow it. He's kind of slumping at the bat, but he's been an ace on the hill, man.
Yeah, well, maybe you should change it. Just
throwing
pitch.
bullets.
Just be a pitcher then. I mean, let's not overdo the guy. They got Mogo.
Yeah. Well, they even had him sit out one game instead of having DHing too.
They got.
But he was back DHing last night.
They got Yomoto
for 5 too, but
they got Yomoto. He's just as good as him.
He threw 6 or 7 shutout innings again last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yomoto?
No. Ohtani did 6 or 7 shutout innings the other night.
Ohtani, yeah.
I'm talking about
Yamamoto. Yeah, Yamamoto's doing great. Also, I think that are the Dodgers in first place or not?
What is that?
Last I knew, they were tied with the Padres, San Diego.
There you go.
Oh, they were tied
at
with
bottom because they kind of
on the bottom
had a couple rough series where they didn't do so good, and I guess the Padres are raging right now. They're beating everybody.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, that happens.
And they caught them.
Yeah.
It's early still. It'll a lot of things will change.
Yeah.
The Mariners are sucking right now, but I mean, hell, they always start out that way, and everybody gets so depressed up here. But they damn near were in the World Series, 1 game away last year by the end of it.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how they keep having a decent team. They won't spend much money on players, but they still do something. They put pretty good team on the field last couple of years.
Yeah, no, that's cool and all. But
I was always rooting for a Mariners-Dodgers World Series, man.
Really?
Just one lousy game away. from it last year. Yeah, it'd be cool. For Mariners have never even been in the World Series. I feel bad for all my workmates and stuff that are lifelong Mariners fans, you know. So
They haven't been there?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
never have.
See, and that's the thing. Right now, we're looking at a typical Mets season too, Ed, because you know what? The Mets have the best winning percentage on opening day of any major league team, so they almost always win opening day for some reason.
They do.
But then they always go on a terrible tear at the beginning of the year where it's like they're going to spend all the way to the All-Star break digging themselves out of this hole. You watch. If they dig out of the hole.
But they do it somehow. You know, it's amazing. Baseball's it's the long game, man. And teams that start out crappy sometimes go on a big rage after the All-Star break or something and overtake whoever was ahead of them. You never know.
Well, that's my only hope for these guys this year. But I mean, if they go through another one of those 12-game losing streaks, I mean, that's that. I mean,
Let's see.
What else you gonna do?
Who did they
Those are
play?
rough, man.
Oh, I know who they played. The Mets played the Twins just the other day they've won the last two and lost the one against them in series, Chuck.
Right. Well, that's the thing. One of those games is the last of the 12-game losing streak, and then they picked up two so far, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've barely gotten to watch any this year, but when I could, though, it was great. And I was really actually more happy to watch Ohtani pitch because I mean he was throwing some wicked stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, when he's on, he's as good as Yamamoto when he's on it. You know, he's something else too.
Right, and they're getting some like almost physics denying drops on the ball. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the short
They
time.
got those three Japanese pitchers that both have that what do they call it, a split finger or whatever, and that other fellow Saseki, he's not doing so hot, but he saved their butts in the championship series when they turned him into their closer.
Oh yeah.
And some of his pitches, it's not a knuckleball, but it moves like a knuckleball, and sometimes it's just crazy when he's on.
Yeah.
But he's not consistent like
No.
Ohtani and
But
Yamamoto.
if he learns how to control a little better that 99 mile per hour knuckleball, okay, because that's what it is. It's like a 99 mile per hour knuckleball, which shouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
These knuckleball pitchers usually toss 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, okay? That's what
Right.
they do.
Yeah, because
Of the grip.
he's not really. You can't throw a knuckleball that hard, but it's some kind of a split finger thing he does or whatever that he can both throw it really pretty hard, and it has some of that same weird. It's going to go right or left. He doesn't even know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, but it wobbles like a knuckleball. It wobbles like a if you remember, who was it?
Yeah, when you watch a slow motion,
what was it?
you see it's barely rotating.
Right. What was it? Tim Wakefield, I think was his name, that used to throw a wobbler like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Wakefield couldn't break 85 when he threw the knuckleball. It was a
Right.
slow ball. So people could steal on him because it was so slow.
Right.
But this kid throws
Yeah.
something that wobbles almost like a knuckleball, except it'll pop 99 on the gun. And that's just
No,
not
that's crazy. When they have that going, I don't, if somebody could totally, master the control of that,
I
it'd be tough on every hitter
because the
for a
only
long time.
because the only way you could get that kind of effect is if you were cheating, if you were scuffing the ball. And they've checked this ball. This kid ain't cheating. He's just somehow able to throw. It looks like a 99 mile per hour knuckleball. That's just insane.
Yeah,
But
it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, my grandfather used to always say, about everything. Well, them Japs, they don't create much, but they sure do perfect everything they get in their hands.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it in baseball now.
Yeah. I mean, the only pitches, okay, when I pitched the short time I tried to pitch in Little League and stuff, and also there's something before Little League. Excuse me. You got your regular Little League and then Babe Ruth League, right? Is what we had in Jersey. And I tried, I tried and I pitched in both. But me, I could only get a sinker, a crappy. My curve sucked. My curve just didn't curve half the time, and but my sinkers were pretty nasty. And I tried a fastball, but I couldn't really get good velocity even for my age group. And I tried, and I wasn't a small kid. I was a fairly large kid, but what you got to do, and who was it? One of the Twins pitchers has this really wicked, like lower body movement. And some of these guys, without steroids, it looks like, are able to throw like 103, 105 on occasion, which is, it's impossible to see the ball at that speed. So, you know.
Yeah, it would be for me, and I don't know if I'd have the guts to even stand in there in the box. Once these guys start winding up, I'd be like running towards the dugout as hard as they throw.
I don't want to get hit by that. That's
I ain't gonna stand up there and let that thing hit me.
No way.
Get the bat in front of you. Get that bat out.
Boom, boom. A strange thing happened recently, and I want to tell you something, Ed and Uncle, and I don't know if this will be interesting to either one of you, but do you remember a player named Willie McGee?
I've heard that name.
Oh, yeah.
Was he with the Cardinals?
So,
Willie McGee, it sounds like he was.
Willie McGee played with a few teams, but he was also a Dodger at one point.
Oh.
Anyways, he I got to speak to him.
Yeah.
And he told me a story about Nolan Ryan. And these guys not wanting to go up and face Nolan Ryan because somebody had, hit a grand slam off him, and they left him in the game. And McGee's like, he told I forget who he said was the manager, but whoever the manager was, he looked at him, he said, take me out of the game. Why? I don't want to go up there against Nolan. Why? Because he's going to put one in my back. And I don't want
Somebody's going to pay for that grand slam.
Somebody's paying for that grand slam. Exactly. And he said he's going to put one in my back. I don't want to take it. And he kind of argued, and he went up there. And he said, thank God that he didn't put it in my back. He put it in the next batter's back.
Yeah. Well, Don Drysdale, old Dodger pitcher from the 60s, his attitude was, you hit one of my guys, I'll hit two. I'll hit two of yours, and we can do it till you're tired. And the other thing, if the manager told him to walk it, put an intentional walk, because back then they had to throw the pitches, not like they do now. He said, hell, I don't need 4 pitches to put him on base.
Yeah, right.
One.
Just need one.
And if you hit him, that
you
automatically puts him on.
Since you like the Mariners, I'm going to shut up after this, but since you like the Mariners, Ed, I got a question. Did anybody ever dare charge the mound when Randy Johnson was pitching?
Oh, yeah.
Because I would
I don't know, because I only started going back in 2012, and he was, already retired when I started, kind of following them a little bit. I got to imagine somebody must have,
You might think so, but
he could get pretty wild sometimes, even if he wasn't intentionally hitting you,
Yeah, but think about this. He was ridiculous looking coming at you at what, 6'6"? With an overhand.
Yeah, I think he's taller than that. I think he was close to 6'8" or 10, man.
Well, maybe.
I could be wrong, but he was big.
Well, look, we'll split the difference. We'll call him 6'8", okay? An overhand pitcher throwing 100 plus miles an hour sometimes at 6'8".
Yeah.
I'm not charging that guy.
Yeah. No, hell no. Well, you better not charge Nolan Ryan either. Look what he did to that guy that did, man. That famous event where the guy ran at him. He just put him in a headlock and started pounding him.
Oh no, Nolan will beat you up. Nolan. See, I love Nolan Ryan. He doesn't even sign. He's still alive. He doesn't sign cards anymore unless you send it to his foundation. Yeah, you have to send it to his foundation. He doesn't want nothing to do with it. You pay them. The money all goes to charity, and that's that. But it costs like $200 or 150 or 175, something like that, to get him to sign. To sign like if you mail a card, you could mail him a card and get him to sign it.
We'll sign it.
But it'll cost you like 150 or 175, something like that. And but as soon as you get it back, that card's worth $500.
Easily. If all these cards not all signed,
people that are really hardcore collectors,
Sure. Yeah,
you guys should have your cards, evaluated because
We were
I
just
don't know, some
discussing
people,
that.
they serious collectors. You might have some that are worthwhile.
Well, I know
You got to be careful though, because
we were just
you only want to put certain things. Well, listen, I've been studying this a lot lately because I'm thinking about running a side business here. And the thing is, if you want to go get them done, really, and get them sealed into a slab, okay, that's great and everything. And you could seal anything into a slab, but you better be careful about it because you're going to spend, even when you're sending in and getting a deal on it, it's going to cost you like $15 a card, and you've got to do like 5 or 10 at a time. So you're talking about $150 to $75 to $150 investment to get your cards graded.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, what if you have a little shop, a place like local? You could just walk in there and say, "Hey, can you
Well, yeah, but
check
that's
these out and see if what."
no, that's great. That's an evaluation, though. If you actually want to get them graded, actually graded, you get them, preserved and graded. And PSA, Professional Sports Authority, is your best place to go. They're the most, reputable.
Oh, okay.
But also Beckett still does them. They do grading, and there's a couple other companies that do, but PSA is the gold standard. And
Yeah, that's
my time.
for serious collectors there to do that.
yeah, but either way, but that's how you do it. Listen, you get again, the Nolan Ryan rookie card, right? There was a reprint of it, and this guy got him, and he was going to sell him loose, $300, because he had him signed. And you put him in a slab, $5,000. Okay, just saying. It's a big. That's a good upgrade for $15. Okay, I'm just saying
everything is
really add
so
value.
everything you do, anything that is so expensive nowadays. It doesn't matter what it is, I guess.
Like
I
two
recently took back up smoking my pipes, tobacco pipes, and
Okay.
I ordered a pipe from Italy. Same price that it came out, right? As it would have cost if anybody had the same pipe. Savinelli, you probably heard of them. And I got the pipe. It went through smooth. I didn't know if they sold direct. And then I get a thing from UPS. I got to pay Lord Trump $40-something tariff to get the damn thing on top of what I paid, man.
Yep. See, those Ohtani cards that I sent you guys, if you got those graded, right, the two of them at a bare minimum would be $500. If you got them, in a slab. Yeah, no, I already see what they're going for. They will go for about $250 a piece, those two cards I sent you, if they're slabbed and they come up with either a 9.5 or a 10 rating.
And if they're signed, probably more, no?
Oh, yeah, signed would be even more, but you'd have to have it authenticated. That's another thing. But just saying, just slab them like that, boom. $250 a piece is what that would cost in a slab. Now, they probably sell for $20 at most, loose like that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So, hey, but you know what else? The time is, we're actually over time.
I know.
So,
we are.
I figured you probably were.
I just want to let Uncle know, even if he doesn't have an expensive seat down on the field level, I know before the game starts, at least at the Mariners ballpark, I don't know if the Dodgers have different security, but you can go down into the field level and go up to the field. Now, you got to be able to pass crap through that stupid net they have everywhere now, but you might be able to, before they get there early, go down to the field level and go down, right to the field and get an autograph. If you get a chance to go over there, see if they let you go down before the game, because they should do that. Because a lot of people like to go down and get autographs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking
before
about.
the game starts.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before, when they're in batting practice and the pitchers are like loosening up on the side and all that a
they're
couple hours
wandering
before.
around
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah,
that's what I was talking
some of
about.
those I've seen them a lot of times do that.
So the other guys,
you might be able to do that, even if you're sitting up on the third deck. Before the game starts, you could probably go down there, Uncle, possibly, and get a chance to get an autograph.
Yeah, and I believe it or not, I told him this earlier because a chatter said, you got to go like 8 hours in advance, and they have to check in with the stadium, which is true, but that's a hit or miss, and you got to figure out where they're checking in, which entrance they're using, or where the players' parking lot
I got
is.
an
That's a big
wouldn't
pain
even
in the
know.
neck. Yeah.
I got an autographed
do that.
ball I got
You'd have
an
to go way early
autographed
because they
ball.
get there early. It's like and work out and go to the training room, all the stuff they do. But once you get in the ballpark, just try going down before the game starts and see if they let you go down to the to the edge of the field, and because
I got an
I got a feeling they might still let people do that there.
Well, anyway, look, we are over time here by about. But yeah, go ahead, Uncle.
I got an autographed ball. Too,
Who did you get to autograph?
A whole bunch of players on it. Where was that ball?
What, Dodgers or?
I don't know.
All kind of players just signed it. I think somebody, grandfather or someone went to the ball game and got it autographed. And the whole team autographed it. I gotta find it.
I can't. I feel
They
like
used
I
to
might have
sell
seen
those
that.
balls at the ballpark. They would sign them, sign them ahead of time, and then you could buy one with a bunch of players.
Yeah, they still do that.
You know,
The team balls at some of
autographs.
the team balls at some stadiums, they still do that. Yeah. But players change so often, though. You don't know if you're getting the whole team or you're getting the whole team from last month.
Right.
So
Yeah, everything changes so much quicker nowadays. Yeah, with the players moving around.
All right. Well, this has been a good show. This has been exciting. I know Ken has been in the chat room saying something about Jose Canseco and Madonna in the 90s. and why-
Oh yes, Canseco.
Yep.
He's a
Something
good.
about
He
steroids
was
kept him
Oakland,
from
Oakland A's coach player.
kept him further away
Right.
from Madonna than he should have been. So thank you, Ken, for being
Yeah.
here. That was cool. And thank you. I think I might know who might have dropped a diamond in a TikTak. I thank you for that. I think that might have been my buddy, actually. So thank you for that, whoever might have done that.
There you go.
Are we doing shout-outs, Uncle? What are we doing?
I don't know. We've been all talking.
Why
Nobody had said anything about shout-outs.
Why don't we just, because it's getting late, so I think what we'll do, thank you, Ed, for calling. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for calling in.
I'm going to make a quick shout out to those gophers for diverting you from blaming all the squirrels for every damn thing goes on in your yard, man. Shout out to the gophers for taking the pressure off a little.
That's right. The scapegophers. The scapegophers.
I'll hear you guys next week. You guys take care. Love
you
y'all.
too. Take care. And see you next week on the show if you're calling. Talk next week.
Ken is saying thank you as well.
Thank
Great
you.
to have you, man. Come back
Yeah.
next week, too, if you can be here, man. Great to
Yeah.
have you. We'll be back.
Please.
It's good to be here. Fun to do the show. Uncle the podcast on TikTok, at Uncle Podcast on the other ones, unclepodcast.com. Bring us home for the week, Uncle.
401. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.